Did you know that the rustling at night in the forest, the piercing cry of a stag, or a sudden shadow under the moon, are all signs of Artemis? Artemis, goddess of the hunt, the moon, wild animals, and virginity, daughter of Zeus and the Titaness Leto, twin sister of Apollo. Since childhood, a loner, she lived deep in the forests, far from Olympus. She carried a silver bow, was followed by wolves, and kept her distance from mortals. But her name was never spoken at night, because Artemis sees everything. How was Artemis born? When Leto was ready to give birth, Hera cursed her. No one dared to offer her shelter. Leto wandered the earth until she found a deserted island, and under the trees gave birth to 2 children, Apollo the sun, Artemis the moon. They say Artemis was born first, and immediately helped her mother deliver her brother. Since then, she became the protector of childbirth, but also a punishing goddess to those who cross her boundaries. Artemis lives in silence. She does not demand temples. She demands respect. Those who enter her forest with impure thoughts do not leave. Animals become her eyes, the wind her ears, and the moon her gaze. A chilling tale. Actaeon, a young hunter, accidentally saw Artemis bathing in a forest spring. He wasn't following her. He wasn't searching. He just happened to be in the wrong place. Artemis looked at him and said one word, "You watch, become prey." He turned into a stag, and his own hounds tore him apart. Artemis is the guardian of childbirth, but she does not save everyone. Legend says if a mother lies, betrays her husband, or prays without sincerity, Artemis may take the child from the womb. In the ancient city of Clazomenae, priestesses recorded dreams, where a maiden in a silver crown appeared and whispered, "You are unworthy of new life," and by morning the heart stopped beating. The temple with no shadow. In Thessaly there is a temple of Artemis, where the moon never fades. Even by day its light is cold and ghostly. It is said if you enter with a hidden desire, the moon will reveal the filth within you. One man came there, praying for love. In the morning they found him on his knees, his face disfigured, and on his forehead a mark in the shape of a hoof. "You wanted passion. I gave you truth." Etched on the wall. Why does she punish those who ask for love? Artemis is a virgin, not out of fear, but out of disdain for the weakness of desire. In myth, she rejected Pan, he burned his flute. She rejected Orion, and struck his heart with an arrow. Even gods dare not meet her gaze. She is not for love. She is for memory. Modern whispers. In some mountain villages, mirrors are covered during full moons, so Artemis does not see those who fear her. Women leave silver coins by springs, hoping she won't take a newborn's breath. And in ancient Lycia, a stone inscription reads, "She does not look. She already knows." The girl who imitated Artemis. Her name was Callida. She lived in the forest, refused love, removed all mirrors, and practiced her aim daily, hoping to become like Artemis. One day she entered a grove where, they say, Artemis once left hoofprints of a moonstone stag. She stayed the night. In the morning, villagers found her clothes, and around them only footprints of bare feet and a she-wolf. On a tree, scratched into the bark with fingernails. She does not want followers, only shadows. They say Artemis has 3 eternal companions, a black wolf, a silver stag, and a white owl with blood-red feathers. If you ever meet them in the forest, never look them in the eyes, for animals' eyes are her way of seeing those who have forgotten what fear feels like. In an ancient Cretan temple there was once a warning: do not stand between the owl and the moon, if you wish to remain yourself. In the Carian Valley, there once stood a temple of Artemis, where women came to cleanse themselves of flesh. They took a vow of silence, forsook their names, and walked through fire. It was believed, if the flames did not burn you, you were worthy of becoming moon-touched. Archaeologists found remains, charred yet smiling. Whom does she love? Artemis despises weakness. But in some myths, they say, she once fell in love. It was a girl, a huntress, just as wild, just as alone. Her name is lost. They met in the moonlit grove, sat in silence, watched the stars. One day the girl said, "I want to stay with you forever." Artemis said nothing. She simply pierced her heart with an arrow, and turned her into a star, forever near the moon, but never touching it. Moonlight and the raising of the dead. In Epirus, they said, if you stand between two pine trees during a full moon, and whisper the name of the dead 3 times, the moon may bring them back for 1 minute. But in return, Artemis will take one of your dreams, forever, a dream that will never return, a dream in which, perhaps, you were happy. What happens if you say her name? Whisper it, softly, alone, under a full moon, in the forest. Artemis. If you are sincere, she will pass by. If you lie, your voice will go with her. On Lesbos there is a legend of a man who screamed her name every year during the full moon. On the 7th time, he vanished. All that remained was an arrow, buried in his shadow. Write in the comments, would you enter her forest? Or would you dare ask for her gaze? If you want more stories about gods who hear whispers and answer, follow and turn on notifications, because the night belongs not to those who sleep, but to those who guard dreams. Artemis.